This is a question on the Unit 5 review. The question is, it would take Joshua 50 minutes to do the 10 questions on team math contest. It would take Elaine to do 40 minutes to do the same 10 questions. Ted would spend 30 minutes. If they all work together on the 10 questions and they're allowed 15 minutes for the contest, how many minutes do they have left over to check their answers? So I'm not quite sure how this fits in with the rest of the unit. It didn't look like there were a ton of questions like this throughout the whole unit, so it is a little unexpected. But it's generally good to know how to do something like this and to kind of play with logic and just try out your math skills, see if you can get it on your own. And really, it took me a few tries to get this, so the best way is just to try your ideas, write them down, and it's okay to make mistakes. And it took me a few tries, and I'll show you one of the mistakes I made at first. So one of the mistakes I made at first is I was thinking, okay, well, if it takes them Josh 50 minutes, Lane 40 minutes, and Ted 30 minutes, I thought, okay, well, maybe we should add those. So I thought like 50 minutes plus 40 minutes plus 30 min, that equals 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. And then they would get 30 questions done in that time. And that's actually wrong, right? Because, think for a sec why that's wrong. Well, in 50 minutes, if they're working simultaneously, Josh will have gotten 10 questions done. Elaine will have finished her questions 10 minutes ago, and Ted will have finished his questions 20 minutes ago. So there'll be at least 30 questions done in just 50 minutes, not 120 minutes. And then, if there are more than 10 questions on the exam, well, Elaine could have gotten started on more, and Ted could have gotten started on more. So this is wrong, right? They're going to do way more than 30 questions in 120 minutes. So then the next thing I kind of thought about was like, okay, so how many questions can Josh get done per minute? Right? And that's as simple as setting up that we know we want per minute, so we're going to do questions divided by minutes per minute, right? This is when you have miles per hour, it's miles over hours. So it's questions per min. And so he does 10 questions in 50 min, which if you simplify that, right, cancel out the zeros, you get 1/5 questions per min, right? And that makes sense, right? He's going to be doing, in 5 minutes, he'll have done a whole question. And that goes along well with 50 minutes because if he can do one question in 5 minutes times 10, that's 50 minutes, 10 questions, right? And the others are going to be similar, the same thing. Elaine will take 40 minutes to do 10 questions, so you write 10 over 40, which Elaine will do 1/4 of a question per min. And obviously you can figure out Ted, which is 1/3 of a question per min. And so I'm going to write that down on my notepad. I write that down here. Joshua can do 1/5 of a question in a minute. Elaine can do 1/4 of a question in a minute, and Ted can do 1/3 of a question in a minute. Okay, so we can actually add these together now because we want to make a common denominator and add them together, right? We want to say we want to see how many questions they can combine to get done in 1 minute or in several minutes. So let's make a common denominator, and actually there is no good common denominator, it's just the product of the denominators. So you're going to have to multiply 5 times 4 times 3, which is 5 times 4 is 20, times 3 is 60. So let's do this. So we want to add 1/5 plus 1/4 plus 1/3. And to get a common denominator rate, we're going to have to multiply this one by 3 over 3 and 4 over 4. And similarly, we're going to have to do 1/4 times 5 over 5 and 3 over 3, and this one times 4 over 4 and 5 over 5. So in the end, if you want to trust me on this, our common denominator is going to be 3 times 4 times 5, which is 60. And I'm just doing the math quickly to show you now, but please take the time and do this yourself afterwards. So 1/5 we'll get 3 times 4, which is 12. For 4, we want 5 times 3, which is 15. And for 3, we're going to get 5 times 4, which is 20. Right, so this is saying that Josh can do 12 questions in 60 minutes. Elaine can do 15 questions in 60 minutes. And Ted can do 20 questions in 60 minutes. So we can actually combine them, and the denominator stays the same. So combined, in 60 minutes, they can do 12 plus 15 plus 20, which is 47. And again, check my work after so you know how to do it. And make sure I got the right answer, because you can't always believe the guy talking on the screen. Okay, so we have got that combined, they can do 47 questions. Let me get that on the screen. Questions in 60 min. And so we want to find out, they are asking if they all work together on the 10 questions and they're allowed 15 minutes for the contest, how many minutes do they have left? So first we're going to ask how long it takes them to do the 10 questions, right? So one way to do that is to write 10 questions over X minutes. And these, if you have this is a ratio, right? They can do 47 in 60 minutes, so it's just a ratio, and we can find out how long it takes them to do 10 questions. So we're going to set it up like this, and we can cross multiply to solve. So what do you get? You get 47x equals 6 times 10, which is 600, and divide 600 by 47, and we'll just leave it at x equals 600 over 47. Right? Divide each side by 47, you get 600 over 47. And again, x is in minutes, so this is a minute, a measurement of minutes. And just to show you what that is, let's see. 600 divided by 47. So it takes them almost 13 minutes to do this whole thing. And that's not exactly precise, but that's how long it takes them. And so we wanted, the question asks, how much time do they have left to check their answers? So we're going to, this is how long it takes them to do all the questions, and then we'll say 15 minutes minus this number of minutes will give us how long they have left over. So again, 15, and we want a common denominator, so we're going to multiply that by 47 over 47. And you get 15 times 47 is 705. So we get 705 over 47 minus 600 over 47, and that equals 105 over 47. So this is how long they have to check their answer, is this in minutes. So right, if you divide it, you'll get the minutes. So let's see, minus 600 divided by 47, and so roughly they have 2¼ minutes to check their answers. And so this should be the final solution. So let's drag this down, and that's the solution right down here. And so again, what the steps we took to solve for this is we found how long it takes them individually to do, how much of a question they can do each individually in 1 minute, add that together, and then you'll get that they can do 47 questions together in 60 minutes, and it's a ratio, so you can say that's equal to 10 questions over x minutes, and we solve for x, and then we said 15 minus what we solve for is the time remaining. And those are the steps to figuring this out. And please email me or call me if you guys have any more questions on this.